Well, hello, friends, and happy Tuesday. I am so excited about the project that I'm going to share with you. It's one of those projects where you just kind of go, oh my gosh, this is amazing, and I want to do this again. So let me know where you're joining me from, and if you're here and that I'm live. I'm not seeing anyone yet, so I'll just hang in there. But let me know if you're here and if I'm in a space. I can see eyeballs. That's good. Hi, Joan. How are you? I am so stoked about this mini album that I'm going to be sharing with you. It showcases a weekend getaway that Sean and Stella took, just like a father-daughter kind of thing. And so I wanted to make one for each of them, and it was really pretty simple and straightforward to do. So I will share all of that with you. Hi, Tina. Okay, thank you so much for being here. Hi, Michelle. And I'm going to flip my camera around and get started because this is a little bit more involved, but simple once you get the hang of it, okay? All right, so I'm going to get everything set here. This is the On the Go suite, and you may have missed this one. I think it's worth pointing out and showcasing here because it's so fun for travel. And we're getting into, at least for me, like I end up traveling a little bit more in spring and summer. And so this is perfect because the colors are amazing. We've got designer series paper here, but I'm going to start with the bundle. This is Tags to Go. And so you have like some of these greetings that are awesome, and then some of these other little arrows and things you can add. But I love the date. I love some of the words that you can use with the stamp set. And then it comes with this really cute Tags to Go dies that you can see adds some really cool character to your projects. So some labels and little tags and folded things. So I'll show you some of those in the project that I'm sharing today. But it is awesome, and I almost missed it. And so I wanted to share it with you because I think it's going to be really fun to use in the coming months. There are also some accessories. This is like one of my favorite things. They're like puffy stickers, and I am hoping that you can see that. I've used some of this. Let me show you. You get 2 sheets of each, but they are like puffy. They're so cute. It reminds me of like puff paint back in the day, but they are so fun to use, and they coordinate. You can see some of them with the dies. So like this part and this part, the open little sticker pieces coordinate with these 2 dies. And so you've got awesome product coordination. You've got 2 sheets of these that I'm going to be using. And then you've also got some twine as well. It's like a trio twine pack that coordinates with all of these beautiful colors. So one-stop shop, ready to go in terms of the suite. But let me show you this designer series paper. So 2 each of the 6 sheet designs, double-sided. And then you have some of these that you can cut out. So I love this, that you've got kind of the 6 4x6 panels that you can use in your projects. I did use all of those. You've got some, oh, I got to flip this over. I feel like, why would you use this side when you can use this side? But I should show you both sides. Okay. And then we've got some of the travel backpacks, suitcases, that kind of thing. Passport looks like. And then all of these really fun tags. What I love about these is that they're just straight lines. So you can use snips, a paper trimmer, and they're really easy to fussy cut. I wouldn't even call it fussy cutting if I'm being honest. And then you've got kind of that map on the back. So we've got some main colors here, and then all of the travel on the other side. And so I'm going to set this aside and show you what we've done. I'm also featuring, in addition to the suite, I'm also featuring some of our flip-flaps. So if you don't know what flip-flaps are, I'm going to show you why you want them. So these are awesome for cards. We're going to feature them in an upcoming, I think we added one to like a Million Sales card. They're really fun because they add an extra flap or piece, a dimension to your card. Let me show you what I mean. So they come in 4 sizes, and then I'll show you kind of what that looks like. They're 3x3 and 4x4. So the square ones have the adhesive on one side, obviously, because it's square. So you can have them be, you know, the adhesive on the left side, top, right, however you want them to flip. So the square ones are easy and really versatile. And then you have the rectangle ones in 4x6 and 3x4. And these packages come with 6 horizontal and 6 vertical. So you can use them as they flip up or flip to the side and open like a book. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. I'll show you what I mean. I just don't want to open those and get them all over the place. So here is this amazing project. I mentioned that Sean and Stella kind of did a daddy-daughter weekend, and I just wanted something really simple and straightforward for them. And the inside, it's really just made with a designer series paper. Here are some tags from that sheet in the paper pack that I mentioned. You can see that here, and I'm using a lot of the 4x6 pieces too. So this sheet and then the 4x6 that you can cut out, I'm using a lot of those. And then you just use the flip flaps and you create your own album. So I wonder if I should bring this up. Okay, let's see, there we go. So I've got some photos in there, and you can see that I've staggered the flip flaps. We've got some photos, and you can tailor this however you choose, whatever photos you have or that you want to use. But really simple and straightforward, just needs a little bit of journaling, obviously. This was a cold plunge they were doing. Dinner with the grandparents, and then some stargazing. I've got a couple of other photos that I need to add in there, but they're not ready yet. And then to end, just some of those tags on the back. You can see that they're stamping throughout. So it's pretty simple and straightforward once you start stacking the flip flaps. So let me tell you how we built this album. Okay, so I'm going to set this right here and start with the cover. So the cover, and I'll share these measurements with you. This is 10.5 by 6.5. So you're not going to quite get 2 out of a piece of designer series paper. I know, but it's going to be worth it because I want some clearance around for the 4x6, the 4x6 flaps. So you could cut it closer, but I just wanted like a quarter, even 1/8 of an inch around the outside so that the flip flaps didn't hang out. So this is the cover. Okay,
Can you repeat those dimensions?
Yes, the dimensions are 10.5 by 6.5, and then you score at 5 1/4. And I can write this down for you as well. This little spine piece right here is 1.5 by 6.5, and then you just score it in the middle at 3/4. And you can see that this is just fussy cut, right, from the designer series paper. We've got some stamping in here, where it was, the date. So simple and straightforward that way. So this is the spine, so a little bit stronger here. And then you can start laying in your flip flaps right here on the side so that they close, and then we'll kind of make that spine cover the edge of the flip flap. So let me show you what I mean. I'm going to start, so in my mind it made sense to start from the back. And so I'm going to start back here, and I've got a little block right here so that you can kind of see what I'm doing. But I've got this piece right here that has the cute little heart. So I think that the stamp set really adds some elements. You can customize as you choose. So I'm going to add that to the back. And then I'm going to add in the front a pocket. So let me flip that so you can see it. So this is holding all the extra pieces. Make sure you can see that. There we go. Okay, so then on the front, this little pouch, get ready with a pencil. I can share this with you as well, but this is the inside pouch, and it's 3.5 by 5, and then you score 1.5 on 3 sides. Does that make sense? So score here, here, and here, and just take your snips and cut off the corners just like this, okay? So that you can fold that and create your pouch just like this that's going to go on the inside. So I'm going to actually wait to put this on, or cheat it. If you put it on first, make sure you cheat it to the outside a little bit because your seam is going to be right here on the inside. So I'm going to hold off on that, but that's an addition too. And then I'm going to build my mini album from the bottom up, okay? So I've got this particular tab. So this is a 3x4, and you can see that this has adhesive on it already, and the pocket is just like this. So I've got a little piece here. I'm going to add some of these really cute sticker pieces to the tag. These are so cute. I think you're going to love them. Just little accessories, add a little bit of oomph to your project. And then I'm going to stick this in here. Go. Just like this. And that's going to go to toward the top. So just a little bit down from the bottom because I want that 1/8 of an inch all the way around. And I can see where my fold is. Oh, here's another tip. The pieces that you pull off, they're a little bit sticky. So over here, you can't see it. Let me show you. I'm just using a piece of grid paper and putting a little tear and tape on there so that as I peel off these pieces, then I can stick them to that tear and tape and they won't fly everywhere. Okay, so that's kind of a little tip or trick. And then I'm just going to align this just inside that little flap, 1/8 of an inch from the top or so. Okay, so that's the first one. So then when I close it, let me just double check that that's lining up. So that's the first one. Then I've got just a basic, and I'm going to line this one up with the bottom. That's going to allow me to kind of create that 4x6 space. So now we can see that I've got 1/8 of an inch all the way around. So that's the next one. Then I've got a 4x6 like this. This is a 4x6 spine on the side. And then I've just added a little label here, and I'm just going to use some snips to chop that right off and then stick that inside. Can you believe that that was like the moon through a phone and a telescope? So cool photo they took. We'll add that, peel this off. So there are about, ooh, they're sticky. There's about 16 pages. So I'm going to just stack that right on top of the other ones. Is this making sense? You can just fold them over. So there's this one that I just did. And then I've got this little piece right here. This is a 4x4. And I'm just going to put it right in the middle. Just like this, roughly. And that's going to adhere. See how this goes. And then the next one I'm adhering is a 4x6. And on this one, I think I'm just going to add some of these cute little green stars. And I'm making two because I feel like Sean wants one and Stella wants one, right? So it's simple enough that you can make a couple in not very long. So you've got this 4x6 piece that's the base, and then the photo on the other side. Slip this in, peel off this layer, and then line up my 4x6 this way. So we're just stacking as we go. The next one, right in the middle, this is a 3x4. Are you seeing this okay, Abby?
Yep.
Okay. making sure everybody's following along. And then I've got this little piece right here. And this is where the die cut comes in. So I've just cut out this label right here, and it layers beautifully with this little piece right here. Okay, so you can choose if you want to put that down first with glue, or if you want to try to line it up this way and then adhere it. Totally up to you. But isn't that awesome? Totally lines up. Okay, so I've got this on the back and then this on the front. I'm just going to adhere that. What do we think so far? What do you think of these flip-flops?
People are saying it's so innovative. Someone is going to print out pictures from on stage and make some mini
Ooh,
books.
I love that idea. I just think it's really simple and straightforward. Your photos are protected. It's in an album. Again, I'm lining this up in the middle. Something that can go on a bookshelf if that's what you choose. So I'm still good on the spine. They're lining up nicely. And then I've got a 4x6 here.
I love that you can make it work with your pictures. Like if you have horizontal or vertical, you just pick the flip-flop that works.
Yeah, and you can just layer them in. I love that. Yeah. That's a great point. Again, the 4x6. That's going to flip. I've got another one. And I love these 4x6 cutouts that are already ready to go. I just added a photo. And you can see some of these other accents that peek and some of the stamping going on that's already been done. And it ends up creating a really awesome, did I do that right? Yes, spine. This way. And then I've got, this one is a 3x4, but it's got that side, so you can attach them differently. So some of them I didn't end up using because of where the spine was. Because if it was like this, then I'm not going to be flipping it. So you end up using 6 of the 4x6, 2 of the 4x4, 5 of the 3x4, and 3 of the 3x3. I promise I will share all this with you. We'll use some story space right in the middle. Let's get on to number 11. So this one, I've got some food on the front, but then I'm going to add this to the card. Let me see, showing you this. Okay, is this in screen? I've got so much going on over here. Okay, so then I'm going to just add a little arrow. And then Stella and Sean can journal their own experience when I give this to them. So I will just flip this on the back. Just like that. Right in the center-ish. Not overly stressed about this one. And then I'm going to add this little photo. So this is just a piece of, let's see, if I want to cover that up, you could use that this way. I just kind of wanted the grid there. So I'm going to add this piece, kind of cover that up. A little more. And then I've got some just designer series paper that's going to be the backing for that. But you can see how quickly this comes together, especially because I was prepared. Right, everything is sorted in the way that works for my photos. So I'll stick this to the back. Okay. Has anyone else used flip-flaps or the on-the-go sweet. I just think it's so fun. Okay. Next one. We're on to number 13. I told you I had 16. We're getting there. This is number 13. So I'm going to do this one first. I've got, nope. I got to do this one next. Hold on.
Patricia asked the strip where you're layering everything on top of each other if it's getting too thick.
So I think that you can flex your spine. Like if it gets, you can see on the, that's a great question, but you can see and decide how thick you want it. This one, when it's all together, isn't going to be more than like 1/8 of an inch. And so you can flex your spine that way. If I had a lot of them, then I might want to do my spine with a little, not instead of a V, more of a fold, where you've got a binding. It looks like a binding that way. Okay, so I've got this little piece right here.
I think the way you're layering them helps too. Like you're having some...
I'm staggering a lot of them, yeah. So I've got my little suitcase piece right here on the bottom, and this little piece on top that I'm going to add a little sticker to. So they are the same. Once you get one designed, then you're good for a few others, you know, for a different trip or a different occasion or whatever it is that you're remembering. But you could swap this out and use different designer series paper. You could use a different suite. You could use different photos, but the layout itself, you can see it's pretty straightforward. I'm just staggering these 3x3s like that. Getting there. Okay, here's this one. Two more. So I've got a photo on this one. This is that 4x6 cutout, and then the back side of that. So I love that we have two-sided designer series paper because we can just leverage those designs. And then the last one is my cover. And I'll put that right in the middle. Kind of cover up that particular photo. So let me show you what this looks like. Can you see it from the top? So really when they're all stuck together, there's not, I mean, it's like sturdy, so it's going to create a spine when I close it. So now I can add my twine right here to create the spine. It's about 3/4 of an inch, as I said, that way. So we just add the twine and then knot the ends so it doesn't fray. We've got our little tag that coordinates with the sticker, so we can add that. And then we'll add our twine and create that album spine, and then I can go ahead and come in and add my little pocket and put all the extra pieces that I have cut out inside there. So I think you can kind of use, here's some of the extra pieces if they wanted to add little bits or journaling or what have you. So you have all these extra pieces that you can work with and put it in that little pocket, or maybe there's a ticket of some kind or some memorabilia or something that you want to save, you can just tuck inside the little pocket. And so when you're all done, you've got this really amazing mini album to remember this moment in time, this time that they were able to spend together. So we'll do our best to share some of the measurements and things in stories so that you don't have to reinvent the wheel because, you know, someone's already done the work. Take advantage of that for sure. But it is a fun album, and I think you're going to really love using flip flaps. So let me know if you decide to case this, please do. Please share with someone who you think would love this kind of a project. And I'm excited to see what you do with different designer series paper or different sizes, or maybe you just do a 4x4 or a 3x3 and everything is just lined up, right? Like, so these ones stagger a bit, which is fun because my photos were all different sizes, but you could use the flip flaps in all of these different sizes, 4x4, 3x3, 3x4, 4x6. Obviously, in this case, the 4x6 created the base for all the rest, and then I just ended up staggering these all along the way. So these are really fun. They're great for cards as well, but I love how it looks in a mini album and how quick it is, how quick it goes together. Now, I had the luxury of being pre-prepped, but it's not too hard when all is said and done. So I think you're going to really love this idea. I'm excited to see what you do with it. So, all right, let me flip my camera around.
There's some great ideas in the comments. Some people are excited
My gosh,
about
I can't wait to see your comments and all of your fun ideas. So please share, please case this. I want to see what you make and what your creativity results in. So please share with us, tag me, and maybe we can share some of those even in my stories. I'd love to share your projects as well. So enjoy, everyone. Thanks for hanging out with me today and for exploring new uses for flip flaps in this mini album, and of course the On the Go suite. Don't miss that as well. Just go to the website and search On the Go. I think we've linked it in the comments as well, so you can have easy access to the product that's going to be amazing for the next few months, as if you travel like I do. Anyway, have a great one, everyone. Happy Tuesday.